welcome to the deep dive. So there's been so much conversation lately, everywhere really, around GLP-1 drugs.
Yeah, things like Ozempic, Wegovy, you hear about them constantly.
Exactly. And let's be honest, that promise of, rapid, almost effortless weight loss, it's incredibly appealing.
It absolutely is. I mean, millions of people are exploring them. And while, sure, many do see those initial results, the conversation often pivots pretty quickly.
The not so great parts.
Right. The downsides, nausea, sometimes vomiting, bloating, feeling tired, even muscle loss. And something that's really disheartening for a lot of folks.
The weight coming back.
Yeah, that tendency for the weight to just creep back on once you stop taking the drug, it's a real challenge.
It really is. But what if you could tap into similar kinds of physiological responses? Those deep signals to your body about feeling full, about metabolism.
But without the needles.
Without the injections,
Yeah.
exactly. Without prescriptions, without the, frankly, significant risks or those really uncomfortable side effects.
Okay, I'm listening.
Well, that's the core idea for this deep dive. We're exploring a really simple, natural, and super accessible approach. It involves just 3 common ingredients
3 ingredients, okay.
and a simple preparation you do before bed, like a natural elixir.
Interesting. So our mission today then is to really unpack how this natural approach might actually work.
Yes. We'll dive into what each ingredient specifically does, walk you through exactly how to prepare it.
And maybe set some realistic expectations, like what can you actually, expect if you try integrating this into your life.
Precisely. The goal is for you to walk away feeling empowered, really well-informed about this possibility.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, let's unpack this. So our sources are suggesting this natural elixir involves chia seeds, cinnamon, and water. Pretty simple.
Simple.
Let's start with the chia seeds, these tiny things. They seem to be right at the heart of this whole idea. How do they play a role in, mimicking that GLP-1 activity?
Well, what's truly fascinating about chia seeds is how they interact with liquid. It's pretty dramatic.
They swell up, right?
They swell up massively, whether it's in a glass of water or inside your stomach. They absorb water and form this thick gel-like substance.
Like a gel.
Yeah, exactly. And the swelling effect, it naturally takes up space, obviously, but critically, it slows down your digestion significantly.
Okay, so if I'm picturing this right, it's almost like a natural version of gastric delay. Because isn't that part of what those GLP-1 medications are designed to do? Slow down how fast food leaves your stomach.
You've absolutely hit the nail on the head. That slowing of gastric emptying is, well, it's profoundly important.
Why is it so important?
Because when food moves more gradually through your system, your body has more time to kind of process the signals. It doesn't need to release as much insulin all at once.
Avoiding those spikes.
Right, and it releases less ghrelin, that's your main hunger hormone, so fewer blood sugar spikes and crashes. But at the same time, it actually encourages the release of more of those crucial satiety hormones.
Like GLP-1.
Like GLP-1, yes. And another one called PYY. Chia seeds essentially cue your body's own appetite control system to chime in naturally. No injection needed.
That's actually remarkable. So it's not just the physical taking up space aspect. Are there other ways these little seeds are talking to our body to create that fullness feeling and support metabolism?
Oh, absolutely. It goes deeper. That rich, soluble fiber in the chia seeds, it's vital not just for making you feel full, but because it also feeds your healthy gut bacteria. Your microbiome loves this stuff.
Okay, the gut connection, always important.
Always. These beneficial gut microbes, they ferment that fiber, and in the process, they produce something called short-chain fatty acids.
Right, I've heard of those.
And these compounds, they directly influence the release of those very same satiety hormones, including GLP-1 right there in your intestinal walls. Plus, chia has alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA.
That's a plant-based omega-3.
Exactly, which helps support healthy fat metabolism and also helps reduce inflammation. And inflammation can really interfere with weight management efforts.
Wow. Okay, so it sounds like chia seeds are doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. But you mentioned 3 ingredients.
Right. Chia, cinnamon, water.
We've covered chia quite a bit. I'm curious now, what about the cinnamon? How does that common spice fit into this whole equation?
Cinnamon brings another really powerful dimension to this, especially when it comes to blood sugar regulation.
Okay.
Yeah, studies have shown that even a relatively small amount, think like half a teaspoon to maybe 1 teaspoon per day can significantly improve insulin sensitivity.
So your body uses insulin better.
Exactly. It helps reduce blood glucose levels after meals, and some research even suggests it can help lower LDL, the bad cholesterol.
How does it do that, the blood sugar part?
Well, it seems to work partly by slowing down carbohydrate digestion in the gut, similar to the chia, but maybe through different mechanisms. This helps reduce those intense sugar cravings.
The 3 p.m. slump craving.
Exactly. And it allows your cells to respond better to the insulin you do produce. This helps keep fat storage down and keeps your energy levels much steadier throughout the day.
So it's not just about what each ingredient does on its own then.
Yeah.
It sounds like maybe the real magic, so to speak, is in how these two things, chia and cinnamon, work together.
You're exactly right. This is where it gets, I think, truly revolutionary, potentially. The real power isn't just what each one does in isolation. It's how their combined effect creates this metabolic signal that's actually far greater than the sum of its parts. It's synergistic.
Synergy, okay.
Yeah, pairing cinnamon with chia seeds creates this profound synergistic effect. You've got the fiber from the chia slowing digestion way down.
Right.
And then you have the cinnamon helping to balance the blood sugar response to whatever you've eaten or will eat. Together, they create this really calm, steady internal environment.
Which is better for fat burning.
Much better. It helps your body shift more easily into a more efficient fat-burning mode, especially overnight. You have to remember, consistently high insulin levels essentially tell your body store fat.
Right, it's a storage hormone.
It is. So keeping that insulin level balanced and lower, especially overnight, is absolutely crucial for long-term results for actually accessing and burning stored fat.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so for anyone listening who's thinking, all right, I'm intrigued, I want to try this, how do you actually make this natural elixir? Are there specific instructions or tips?
Yeah, there are basically 2 really simple ways to prepare it. Option 1 is the blended method. This usually gives you the smoothest, kind of quickest result.
Okay, blended.
You combine 1 teaspoon of chia seeds, about half to 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And by the way, if you can find Ceylon cinnamon, that's generally preferred for its lower coumarin content and health benefits.
Good tip. Ceylon cinnamon.
Right. Add those to about 8 to 12 ounces of water. And optionally, you can add a little dash of raw honey or maybe some monk fruit or stevia if you like a touch of natural sweetness.
And then just blend it.
Blend it thoroughly. And the key here is to drink it pretty much immediately after blending. Blending really helps break down the chia and cinnamon quickly, creating that smooth consistency right away.
Okay. But what if you don't have a blender, or maybe you're traveling or just prefer not to use one? Is there another way?
Absolutely. Option 2 is the non-blended method. Even simpler, really. You just stir the ingredients, the chia, the cinnamon, into the water.
Okay.
But, and this is important, you need to let it sit. Let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes.
Why the wait?
So the chia seeds have enough time to fully absorb the water and expand to become that gel-like consistency we talked about.
Ah, you need the gel.
You really want that gel. You want the chia to be soft. If you drink it too soon while the seeds are still hard or kind of gritty,
Yeah.
well, they might cause some bloating or discomfort as they try to absorb water inside your stomach instead. Not ideal.
Got it. So let it sit for 10-15 minutes if not blending. And the water amounts 8 to 12 ounces?
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Generally more is better, especially when you're using chia seeds, just to ensure proper hydration, proper expansion of the seeds, and, smooth digestion overall.
Makes sense. And the timing you mentioned, taking it before bed. Why then? Why is nighttime the sweet spot for taking this?
Nighttime is really interesting physiologically. It's when your body naturally shifts gears, right? Your daytime metabolism slows down a bit, and your system transitions more into repair and recovery mode.
Okay.
This is also when certain crucial hormones, like growth hormone, which helps with fat burning and muscle repair, tend to rise. Leptin, another satiety hormone, also plays a role overnight.
So this drink helps before that shift.
Exactly. Taking this drink helps stabilize your blood sugar and sort of calm your appetite before those major hormonal shifts happen overnight. This can be really effective at preventing those dreaded late-night snacking urges.
Oh yeah, the fridge raid at 10 p.m.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
It helps your body transition more smoothly into a fat-oxidizing state, burning fat for fuel, particularly while you're sleeping. And there's some thought it could especially help target that stubborn visceral fat.
It's the fat around the organs.
Yeah, the metabolically dangerous kind, the one linked to metabolic syndrome and other health issues. Stabilizing things overnight might help the body access that more effectively.
This all sounds incredibly promising.
Yeah.
Really does. But, for listeners who might be a little skeptical or maybe they've tried things before, what's the single most important thing to remember about getting realistic results? Is this some kind of magic bullet?
Yeah, that's a crucial point. It's vital to be absolutely clear here. This natural elixir, it can profoundly support your hunger signals and your hormones. It can mimic some of the beneficial effects of those GLP-1 drugs.
Right.
But it is definitely not a free pass. It's not a license to just eat whatever you want and expect miracles to happen. That's not how biology works, unfortunately.
So we still need to do the work.
You still need to actively fuel your body the right way to achieve real, lasting results. And that means making conscious choices. It means, avoiding the stuff we know derails us, heavily processed foods, tons of refined sugars, those unhealthy hydrogenated oils that drive inflammation and mess with insulin balance.
So the foundational healthy habits are still, foundational, absolutely paramount to success.
They are the bedrock, honestly. You can't out-supplement a poor diet or lifestyle. Hydration, for instance, just drinking enough water throughout the day is critical.
Why hydration specifically?
Because water helps your cells function optimally, it supports your body's natural detoxification processes, and it even gives your metabolism a little boost. Simple, but powerful.
Okay, what else?
Quality sleep. This is huge. Deep sleep is when your body produces the most growth hormone. If you don't get enough quality sleep, your hunger hormones, like ghrelin and leptin, they get dysregulated.
Making you hungrier the next day.
Exactly, leading to overeating, craving sugary stuff. And then there's movement. Consistent movement or even light exercise several times a week. It doesn't have to be intense gym sessions.
It's moving your body.
Moving your body. It helps reduce stress, improves metabolism, enhances how your body uses fat for fuel. And don't forget stress itself.
Cortisol.
Right. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which directly leads to insulin resistance and encourages your body to store more fat, especially around the belly. So managing stress is key too.
So think of this nightly drink not as the solution, but as a powerful tool.
That's the perfect way to put it. It's a powerful tool that works best, that really shines when it's part of that larger, healthier lifestyle picture.
Okay, so wrapping this up,
Yeah.
what does this all mean for you, the listener, right now? What's the takeaway?
Well, the takeaway is that this natural elixir idea is, first off, incredibly simple.
Yeah, 3 ingredients.
It's accessible. You can find these things anywhere. It costs mere pennies per serving. As far as we know, there are no significant side effects for most people, and obviously no prescriptions needed.
And its potential really lies in supporting your body's own systems.
Exactly. Supporting your natural satiety hormones, optimizing your digestion, maybe boosting fat metabolism a bit, and generally contributing to your long-term health. It's working with your body.
And just to reiterate, it's not that magic bullet.
Definitely not. It won't make up for consistently poor choices elsewhere. But it's a profound tool, as you said, that truly comes alive when you combine it with those foundations.
Proper nutrition, staying hydrated, getting good quality sleep, moving your body regularly, finding ways to manage stress.
Yes. Supporting your hormones naturally with those things, the right foods, better sleep, water, movement, it will truly compound the benefits over time. You create this upward spiral, this virtuous cycle for your health.
So here's a little challenge maybe. We challenge you listening to try this natural GLP-1 elixir for, say, 7 consecutive nights.
Just a week, see what happens.
Yeah. And maybe, just for your own curiosity, take a photo before you start. Then just observe, pay attention, compare any subtle or maybe not so subtle changes.
How do your clothes fit? Does your waistband feel any different? How did your hunger feel during the day? Are those cravings less intense? How are your energy levels shifting?
Notice those things.
Because the true beauty of an approach like this, I think, isn't just about the numbers on a scale or even necessarily looking thinner, though that might happen.
What is it then?
It's about finally helping your system find its balance again, helping it repair, helping it work the way it was actually exquisitely designed to work in the first place.
Letting your body work smarter.
Exactly. Supporting its innate intelligence instead of always feeling like you have to rely on extreme measures or get caught in that endless, frustrating cycle of crash diets. It's about working with your body, not against it.